Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. I'm not quite sure.
Remember that viral Coldplay kiss cam moment that broke the internet last year? Well, the woman at the center of that scandal is now charging $875 for people to hear her tell her side of the story. Yes, you heard that right. This is absolutely wild. Let's set the scene for those who might have missed this absolute chaos when it happened. In April 2025, Kristin Cabot, who was 53 at the time, became an instant internet meme after she and her married boss, Andy Byron, were caught on a kiss cam during a Coldplay concert. When the live footage of them canoodling was suddenly blasted across the stadium screens, they both immediately ducked and tried to hide. It was the worst possible reaction they could have had because it made them look incredibly guilty. Chris Martin, Coldplay's lead singer, did not help the situation. He remarked over the stadium speakers, quote, "Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy." That comment, combined with the video of them trying to hide, went absolutely viral. The video spread like wildfire across social media. Within hours, millions of people were watching, commenting, and speculating about their relationship. Were they having an affair? What was really going on? The internet became obsessed with solving this mystery. In the ensuing fallout, Cabot and Byron made headlines worldwide. People were analyzing every detail of the video, their body language, their reactions, everything. It became one of those moments where the entire internet seemed to focus on this one incident. Now, here's some important context. Cabot had separated from her husband by the time she and Byron were caught on the Jumbotron, so technically she wasn't cheating on anyone. However, her boss Andy Byron was married. That's where things got really messy. During a series of interviews following the scandal, Cabot, who is a mom of two, said the meme had left her, quote, unemployable. Think about that for a second. She went from being a chief people officer, which is essentially a top HR executive position, to feeling like she couldn't get hired anywhere because of this viral moment. In an interview with the New York Times, she blamed the scandal on, quote, a couple of high noons, referring to alcoholic beverages. She was basically saying they'd had a few drinks and made a mistake by being affectionate at a public event. But she would later tell British newspaper The Times that she felt as though she had been branded with a, quote, scarlet letter. For those unfamiliar with the reference, that's from a classic American novel, where a woman is publicly shamed and forced to wear a letter A for adultery. Cabot was saying she felt like society had publicly marked her with shame. So what happened after all this? Well, Cabot hired a PR maven named Deanie von Muffling to help her combat the rising wave of online criticism. Von Muffling is described as an industry legend in public relations, so Cabot was clearly taking this seriously and investing money into fixing her reputation. And now, almost a year later, here's where the story takes an interesting turn. Kristin Cabot is offering talks on how she took back her, quote, narrative, but it's going to cost attendees an eye-watering $875 to hear what she has to say. Let me repeat that because it's truly shocking. She's charging $875 per ticket for people to attend her speech about how she recovered from a scandal that she arguably brought on herself by being inappropriate with her married boss at a public event. The event is set to take place at PR Week's 2026 Crisis Communications Conference on April 16th in Washington, D.C. She'll be joined on stage by her PR representative, Deanie von Muffling, the same person she hired to help manage the fallout. According to the event description, quote, Cabot experienced firsthand the extremity of public shaming that women have long experienced when in the negative spotlight of the media, one their male counterparts often seem to avoid. This is an interesting angle they're taking. They're positioning this as a story about gender inequality in public shaming, arguing that women face harsher criticism than men in similar situations. There is truth to that broader point, but it's also worth noting that her married boss, Andy Byron, probably didn't face less criticism because he was a man. He likely just handled it more privately. The event description continues, saying during the session, quote, the former astronomer chief people officer and her PR representative share the strategy, both immediate and long-term, that has helped Cabot take control of her narrative and rewrite her story. So essentially, she's selling a case study on crisis management using herself as the example. From a professional standpoint, this could actually be valuable for PR professionals who want to learn how to handle viral scandals. Crisis communication is a real skill, and there are lessons to be learned here. But from a public perception standpoint, charging $875 to talk about how you recovered from a scandal you created is a choice. It's definitely a bold move. The conference isn't just about Cabot, though. Several other companies and charities are also holding talks at the event. One such group is the Trevor Project, a nonprofit organization that focuses on suicide prevention for LGBTQ+ people. Another firm appearing is Blackbird AI, which is said to hold a talk on the dangers of artificial intelligence amplifying crises. So this is a legitimate professional conference for people in the PR and crisis communications industry. It's not like Cabot is just renting out a hotel ballroom and charging people to hear her vent. This is an established industry event where professionals pay to learn from real-world case studies. Still, the optics are interesting. She went from being called unemployable to a paid speaker at a major conference. That's actually a pretty impressive turnaround from a career perspective. Whether you agree with her methods or not, she did manage to turn a career-ending scandal into a speaking opportunity. The question is whether $875 is worth it. For PR professionals who work in crisis management, it might actually be valuable to hear the behind-the-scenes strategy of how someone rebuilt their reputation after going viral for all the wrong reasons. For everyone else, it probably feels like a lot of money to hear someone talk about their own mistakes. What's also notable is the framing. By positioning this as a story about gender inequality and public shaming, rather than just, I made a mistake and here's how I fixed it, she's trying to tap into broader cultural conversations about how society treats women differently than men. And look, there is truth to the fact that women often face harsher judgment than men in similar situations, but it's a delicate balance when you're also trying to take accountability for your own choices while also claiming victimhood. The real lesson here might be about the modern internet culture, where one viral moment can define your entire life. Cabot went from being a successful executive to an international meme overnight. The speed and scale of online shaming is genuinely terrifying when you think about it. So what do you think? Is $875 a reasonable price for what is essentially a masterclass in crisis PR, or is this just capitalizing on a scandal? And do you think she has successfully taken back her narrative, or just charging this much money creating a new controversy? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe because internet culture and viral scandals are only getting more intense.